Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we will learn about Introduction to ESP. We have 5 lessons in this video. Lesson 1 is Introduction, Lesson 2 is ESP and ESL, Lesson 3 is ESP course at Technical Secondary Vocational School for Construction and Building Trade students, Lesson 4 is ESP vocabulary teaching at the Vocational Secondary School of Furniture Industry, and the last lesson 5 is ESP International Sample Lesson Plan. Let's start. Lesson 1 is Introduction. ESP is English for specific purposes. ESP is the teaching of English to students whose first language is not English but who need it for a particular job, activity, or purpose. The aim of ESP is to determine the needs of a specific group. The characteristics of ESP, we have 3 points. The first point is ESP is designed to meet the specific needs of the learners. The second point is ESP makes use the underlying methodology and activities of the specialism it serves. And the third point is ESP not only centered on the language but also the skills, discourses, and genre appropriate to those activities. ESP has become increasingly important as there has been increase in vocational training and learning throughout the world. But the spread of globalization has come to increasing use of English as the language of international communication. More and more people are using English in a growing number of occupational contexts. Students are starting to learn and therefore master general English at a younger age and so move on to ESP at an earlier age. ESP teaching material. First point, think about what is needed and don't just follow a course book. Second is understand the nature of their student subject area. Next, work out their language needs in relation to their specialism. Use context, text, situations from their subject area. And then use authentic materials. Make the task as authentic as possible. Motivate the students with variety, relevance, and fun. And the last is make the classroom into the real world and bring the real world into the classroom. ESP is divided into 2 types, which is English for academic purposes and English for occupational purposes. The example of English for occupational purposes is business English, professional English, and vocational English. Lesson 2 is ESP and ESL. How is ESP different from ESL? We have a point. This is a differences between ESP and ESL. ESP, first, ESP students, usually adults, and learning English to communicate a set of professional skills and to perform particular job-related function. ESP concentrate more on language and context than teaching grammar and language structure. ESP combines subject matter and English language teaching. This is the example of ESP. Teaching legal English in China. The students will learning English in preparation for studying law through an American university where the professor is all native English speakers. And the point of ESL is, first, ESL is a traditional term for the use or study of the English language by non-native speakers in an English-speaking environment. Second point, ESL also refers to specialized approaches to language teaching designed for those whose primary language is not English. The third point, ESL learn for English skill, which is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The example of ESL. Students from non-native English-speaking countries who come to the US and Canada for an extended period of time learn English as a second language. They acquire English as a means to communicate in the dominant language spoken in the community where they reside. This is lesson 3, which is ESP course at Technical Secondary Vocational School for Construction and Building Trade students. This is about ESP course in Technical Secondary School to construct the trade students. The first discusses the meaning of ESP and then tells about its characteristics. It discusses the role of English as a trade and finance language globally, and then further narrates the various steps that are being taken by various countries' governments to promote English for specific purposes programs for its workforce. This reflects that these governments understand the importance of introducing ESP courses at secondary level so that their people can comfortably choose the vocational field of their own choice. We have some main points in ESP. 1. ESP has some following characteristics. 2. ESP is to fulfill some particular requirements of the learner. 3. ESP includes grammar, lexics, skills, and varieties of activities. 4. ESP can have some particular disciplines. 5. ESP is mainly planned for intermediate or advanced students. And the last point is, ESP is planned for adult learners who can be at secondary level also that is in a professional work situation. Next is lesson 4. This is ESP vocabulary teaching at the Vocational Secondary School of Furniture Industry. In this lesson, some students will be specialized in wood or furniture processing industry as joiners, carpenter, folk art joiners, and wood or furniture processing supervisors and managers. Vocational classrooms are viewed as potentially good environment for language learning because of the work carried out in small groups, using authentic materials and equipment, and requiring close interpersonal communication. The important aim of this work is to suggest how vocational teachers can enhance learning opportunities for students or apprentices with limited English proficiency in order to improve their English language skill as they master vocational content. The important fact follows from the above mentioned. Teachers have to make compromises in using teaching approaches and methods because the completely effective teaching method doesn't exist. The students at the Vocational Secondary School of Furniture Industry should study ESP vocabulary. According to Hodge and Brown, distinguish these word categories for teaching technical vocabulary. Number 1. Teaching abbreviation symbols and formulae. Teacher's role is to explain their form and meaning, and students should practice them in spoken and written exercise. Number 2. Subtechnical vocabulary. Words which are not directly a part of specific technical branch, but they occur generally in scientific and technical texts. Number 3. Highly technical vocabulary. Words that have a close thematic relationship and belong to the specific technical field. I have 3 points, which is theoretical part of this lesson, teaching approaches, and teaching methods that must you have. Okay, first is theoretical part of this lesson. Number 1 is characteristic of the target group. Number 2, motivation of vocational students. Number 3, sources of motivation. Number 4, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Number 5, instrumental and integrative motivation. Teaching approaches. Teaching approaches are the ways through which the teaching methods are achieved. For example, lexical approach, communicative approach, and elective approach. Teaching methods that must you have. Number 1, grammar translation method. Number 2, direct method. Number 3, audio-lingual method. Number 4, task-based learning. Number 5, total physical response method. And the last, number 6, is Suggestopedia. This is the last lesson that we have. Lesson 5 is ESP International Sample Lesson Plan. As you can see, this is the example of lesson ESP International Sample Lesson Plan. So this is sample plan that must you have if you are teaching ESP. So we have topic and the date, length, class, target level, number of students, school or course, material use, skills, aims, reasons, and then stages and procedures. This is the example. Like this. The main aim of the thesis is to find out the best way how to motivate mostly teenage students for learning wood or furniture vocabulary and how to teach them with the best effect. The topics are chosen as the most important for students specialized in the branch of wood or furniture industry. The system of practical exercise supports the learning of new vocabulary. It provides better understanding of the basic meaning of unfamiliar words and using them in appropriate context. I think it's enough for this video. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.